Looks like the marshal's ready to start. Checks both sides, and the fight starts.
And that is the start. The marshal gets out, and he even quite cautious charge in there. You can see great fighting skill there from the Italians and French. The halberdiers coming from behind.
Some cautious shot by
down
the French
fighters yet. There is one French fighter who's gone on the back. They need to get rid of that fighter as quickly as possible. Far too much time being spent in the corner there with that loose French fighter.
And it means that they've weakened the what you can see on the right of your screen, that side of the line.
Very tenable. I think actually France have got the stronger line there, has to be said.
Only partially. I think there's an amazing job here by the Italians, but it seems mainly halberdiers holding the line.
Yeah, there's the halberdiers holding the line there, but as soon as they get through, as soon as they engage with the halberdiers, it could be very difficult for them. This is an extremely close fight.
It is, I don't think
you can see that Stefano Canella smashing down into the Frenchman with his shield there.
There's one down from each side. I don't think
that's
else.
it.
This is
very close. Again, you've got two down there. Again, one from each side.
Yeah, a Frenchman without a weapon trying to draw it from his belt.
Yeah.
Finally getting it out.
You can see there Stefano smashing into the Frenchman now. Again, these big Italians chasing down the Frenchman.
But nothing really happening by the people behind the lines. I see actually
very
in the
tense.
center of the list, quite a few Frenchmen have gone down. But it is going to be interesting to see what happens with this.
I think now the French are trying to break that group of Italians there. Great physical movement, kicking there. And you can see one of the Frenchmen tried to get behind the lines. However, there's an Italian taken down in French territory. Now trying to prize the Frenchman away from the list.
Some of these
close there, and so taking quite a knock there, the Italian. I think the French now have an advantage. You've got one Italian standing in the middle.
Another Italian has been taken down. The French are definitely gaining the advantage now. I think they have an Israeli mercenary with them.
That's right, yeah, they do. And it is all France now. Perhaps it might just be an Israeli shield. We've seen a few of them. You can see there.
We're seeing with the scarf on it, I do believe the French have this. There's only about 2 Italians left.
Yeah, it is all France now. The experience has paid off.
Unfortunately, that is it. There's only 2 Italian fighters left in the marshals. We'll call it now.
Well, that is a big victory there for France in a long round. That is a hard lesson learned for the Italian team.
I'll tell you, though, they definitely didn't give it up. I think fight.
I can see. I think there's going to be a rapid start from the French here. They go straight for the Italians.
Similar
the marshal just getting out with a big kick there.
Some heavy hits coming down from those halberdiers.
Yeah,
now
the Italians still in the middle there, not able to get through. They really need to penetrate that line, which is being held solidly by the French fighters.
Some fantastic shots coming from the Italians to the big Frenchman that is...
Great tactics there from the French, and they take down one of the Italians.
We're seeing people drop left, right, and center.
But there are more Italians going down now than French fighters. I mean, it's fairly even, but there goes another Italian fighter.
The French are falling in the center of the scrum as well.
Yeah.
This seems to be still fairly even. The line reforming by the French as well as the Italians.
See a nice chase down there from the Italian. However, it's going to be difficult for them now. Well, Italians taking some punishment there.
I think the French have a very, very slight numerical advantage.
Oh, I think they do, yeah, and it is France with the advantage now. You can see a good charge from an Italian, but he's going to get thrust himself.
It looks like people are going down in pairs. It still could be Italy's game, only having about 2 French fighters. They've now downed, and I think it is now firmly in French grasp.
Yeah, it is. We're moments away from seeing another solid French victory. You can see the Italian captain holding onto the list there, but he's got 4 fighters around him. You can see those big and fast Frenchmen taking down that one lone Italian who is very big himself. And that is a French victory. 2-0, France, Italy.
Fantastic job to the French team.
Yeah, the Italians will be disappointed to finish their campaign like this. However, you've got to hand it to the experience and the solid line of the French.
I think most importantly, the reforming of the French.
Yeah.
Once that chaos had reigned, the French seemed to regain, whereas Italy was split into one mass mob down at the bottom end.
I think they stood back too much. They're going to France are going to find very different tactics if they go up against Russia or Ukraine, who will just go charging into them. The Italians stood there for some time in the middle, waiting for it, but the French would not lose that line.
It seems to be that quite a few of these new teams, they